Yo, welcome back to another video. We are already getting to the Kevin Durant build early. I've made this build the past couple of years. I had my KD build as a creator build in NBA 2K24. The reason why I made this YouTube channel. And last year, I made this build a little later, kind of like midway through the year. We weren't waiting around this year, because I have perfected this build to last the entire year, and cap breakers are only going to make it better as the year goes on. I do not need to make another KD build unless I really want to. Also, I know. Every time I load up on this KD build, it's unfortunate. This is the image I see every single time, but I have to. I have to if I want the shooting to be where it has to be at for Kevin Durant. Here's what the build is going to look like. We put it at small forward. I love putting it at small forward because you either get a mismatch at the small forward position or you can put it power forward. This build, if you made it a default power forward, you would not want as a center in solo rec. So we go small forward. We can be comfortable in the positions this needs to play at. 6'10", 6'10". Again, we have to leave it for the shooting. If you wanted to be realistic, can't even get his wingspan in the game. If you bump up the height one to his now listed height, you can. But like, I'm not having 83 mid-range, 83 pointer. That's just not happening. So we went 6'10", 6'10", and the 225 pounds, we are doing that because in the 225 pounds, we are doing that because if you go any higher, you lose the perimeter at 82. We'll talk about that a little later. These are the body types you get, not necessarily Kevin Durant. If you wanted one that was kind of similar, could have went 212, but I'm not making a 212 pound KD. You want to make a rookie KD? Yeah, go ahead, but decided to bump up the weight a little bit. And this is just what we're left with. Starting off with the finishing, this build has a lot of it. We went the 84 close shot. You get Paint Prodigy on silver. That'll help out a little bit, especially if you want to use some floaters. We went 90 driving layup, so we could get physical finisher on gold. You got float game on gold as well. Mix master at silver. That's fine. Don't really use that badge too much. Get the driving dunk at 89, so you're gonna get both the pro contact dunks off 1 and 2 feet. The vertical will match that as well. 72 standing dunk. This is for rise up on bronze. 75 gets you a few extra dunk packages, but 72 is perfectly fine here at the 6'10 position, 6'10 height. And 84 post control. So you are going to get Hall of Fame post fade phenom. If you wanted to bump it up a couple, you could get unpluckable, 1 badge higher. Not really an issue at this point in the game. Maybe after the first big patch, we'll see it. But for now, that's fine. You can get post up poet if you really want to upgrade it 1. But I'm fine with where it's at. Moving on to the shooting. 92 mid-range, 88 three-pointer, 83 free throw. It's going to be where a couple of the cap breakers are used right off the bat. I did shooting specialization. I've maxed out my shooting specialization. So I have 2 cap breakers that I have to use in shooting. Could use them in physical. I'm not going to do that. So we use 1 on mid-range, 1 on three-pointer to bump up the badges. 92 default, you have all gold shooting badges. You bump it up 1, you get Set Shot Hall of Fame. That helps out a bunch. The three-pointer, you bump it up 1 so you can get silver limitless. The free throw 83, perfectly fine. You know your free throw, you're gonna make them this year. I want to know the playmaking. Yeah, I already know. You're like, Kevin Durant, you're doing 63 ball handle? Like what? This is Kevin Durant? No, this is gonna be one of the parts where the cap breakers are gonna help you out a bunch, and probably the first areas where you do use the cap breakers. So hold off until I get there. But this is what the playmaking looks as of now. You get 68 ball handles, so you get the lightning launch on bronze. 71 pass is decent. You're going to see some clips in the gameplay throwing it down the court. It's also going to be another area that we will upgrade down the line. Moving over to the defense. It looks okay. This is another big area where we're going to upgrade it as the year goes on. 62 interior defense. Yeah, might want it a little higher if you care about that, but we're at the small forward position or the power forward position. We don't really have to deal with people in the post. So left it at 62 for now. 73 perimeter. You get the bronze defensive badges, except on ball menace. Can't get on ball at this height. You still get pick dodger, but that will be upgraded. Improved challenger down the line. 67 steel. You get both bronze steel badges with the ability to improve interceptor if you want, and then 78 block for silver high flying denier. You also get paint patroller on bronze with that 60 interior. The rebounding, it's okay for now. You got 60 offensive, 71 defensive. It does its job. And again, another area that we will improve down the line with some cap breakers. The physicals, maxed out the speed, 71 agility with improvements later down the line. Not too big of an issue. You get the 75 strength. This is for the gold physical finisher. And then the 78 vertical, which matches the dunks that you need. When we are all done with the build, it comes out to be a crafty 3-level score. Guess who's there? 2010, 2011, Kevin Durant. Weaknesses, not a steals guy by any means. Okay. No one really is this year. What I've done with the cap breakers so far, I have used 3 on my shooting. I used my 2 shooting specializations. So we got the 93 mid-range, 89 three-pointer. I did use an additional cap breaker to get to 90. So you get deep bomber takeover. The ball handle, 71 for now. We are going to improve it up to the 77. Not going to use all 5 cap breakers on this section, but 71 for now, perfectly fine. You're able to get it to 77, 78 if you really want, but 77's perfectly fine. The pass down the line, we're going to use 2 cap breakers to get to 77 pass. If you look at the rebounding, we're going to use 3 cap breakers down the line on defensive rebound to get 80. So rebound chaser is going to be silver at that point. And then the defense, going to be able to use 3 cap breakers on perimeter defense to get that 82 perimeter for silver challenger. They'll help you out. The steal, you can improve to 73 to get interceptor on silver. And if you really want to, way down the line, you could either go 88 block and 80 agility for gold high flying denier, or you can improve the interior defense and your block for silver paint patroller. So you can really make this build into more of like a 2-way player. That's going to take some time though. I'll be like season 7, season 8 for that. But for the initial cap breakers, perimeter, defensive rebound, the ball handle, pass accuracy, and then the shooting, and you are set with this build. As you can see here, I did the shooting specialization, been working on it for a couple weeks now. Unfortunately, I did see a specific method that would have helped out before. Shout out Stacks Montana, but like I was already done. I didn't really need that method at all. Played a lot of street ball games in my career. For the takeover, I made a custom one. I just named it Slim. We went with speed with ball and ball handle. So when I improve the ball handle, maxed out, it'll be 85. Then we were able to add on the deep bomber takeover. This is crazy for a 6'10", being able to shoot from almost half court. This is my badge setup that I had in the video. So as you can see, legend shooting badges, Hall of Fame limitless, physical finisher on Hall of Fame. Could go with this setup. You could go with like a setup like this, the gold lightning launch there, or you could go with a setup like this where you get physical finisher on legend with the shooting badges, and then you bump up limitless to gold if you want. Animations, nothing too special as of now. I went pretty much pure Kevin Durant. Can't get his pull-up yet, so I'm just using normal 2, but KD, mostly everything. We got the Bam floater, Giannis dribble style though, and his step back. As I said, KD full jumper. There you go. Before we get into the gameplay, if you have not already, make sure to join the Discord. Discord.gg/Healy6, looking for people to play Rec Center with. And if you don't really have a crew and start playing with the people in there, you can join our crew. We do have a few spots, so they are not guaranteed, but join the Discord, host your builds, talk with other people who like making builds as well. Hope to see you there. And then twitch.tv/Healy6. That is where I stream a lot of the games, and you'll be able to see me play on a variety of builds and even some new ones that have not hit the channel yet. Now we are on the gameplay of this video. Starting off with a dunk. 89 dunk, very fun to use this year. Here is another dunk. Another big meter. With all that shooting on this build, being 6'10", knowing how shooting works in this game, I'm just gonna let it fly. Every time I get the ball, I'm looking to score. That's how unstoppable I feel on a build like this. With all the shooting, having the mismatch with the height. Just so fun. KD was one of my favorite builds to use in the solo rec last year, specifically because it could kind of do everything and expose mismatches. People didn't know how to guard it, so I'm expecting it to be the same. Played a few games with some friends, and this is the build with the cap breakers I showed you in the video. I still had 2 cap breakers to use. I'm just probably waiting to use them for like perimeter defense or rebounding. It just really depends what I want to use. But like pretty much default build right now, I'm loving it. Is that because the shooting is really good? Possibly. Especially with, if you're taller than people, shooting is just unreal. You don't really get contests by smaller players. But I also just think KD's animations, having just such high shooting, helps out a ton. The defense, I'm not noticing it lacking right now. This is the 73 perimeter. The interior, I'm not going up against centers, so interior doesn't matter too much. The blocks, you see right there, I get a block. The 6'10" wingspan, not really hurting at all. It does look a little funny, I know, but had to take a shot right there. But it doesn't affect it really at all. And defensively, when I was left one-on-one, I didn't feel too bad. The agility wasn't too low. Perimeter wasn't too low. Probably just helps out having a bigger framed player, so you can make up some ground a little easier despite being a little slower. And now that I'm finally done with the shooting specialization, and I've been busy the past couple weeks, been working a ton, and I've had other responsibilities keeping me off the game. I should be playing online quite a bit more, which means, hopefully, I should get out more content. That'll be fun. I've only put out 2 videos so far. This is the 3rd. Put out some shorts. Appreciate everyone that's watched the shorts. But I need to start playing online more, putting out that more content, just playing the game, because right now it's a lot of fun. We're still waiting for that first patch for contests. Shooting's fine. Shooting perfectly fine. Leave it how it is. Just need the contests so people just who don't normally take shots aren't as confident as they are. Like, you got some people who don't normally shoot like this being a little too confident, and that should not be happening. So, waiting for that first patch for that. And especially maybe see how lineups change, because right now height is king, especially with the contest systems. I would really like to make a couple point guards here soon, but for this game's sake, they're a little on the shorter end, and I don't want to get shot over every single time. So they might have to wait for a preview or a future iteration of 2K. We'll just have to see. Look at that steal. Trying to go all the way. Do a little KD move. Unintentional. I was going for a dunk or a layup there. We get a nice KD move. The legend shifty shooter activates. Seeing here at half court. Look at that. Nice little decks. Boom. Deep bomber. I really love that I could get deep bomber on this build this year. Just makes this build so fun having the 3-pointer in the mid-range as high as it can get. Because last year, the highest 3-pointer I could get on this build was 86. I think I left it at 83 for a while because like there's no point in getting it to 86 unless you just like wanted it to. But this year, having the high 3-pointer for deep bomber and limitless and just in general having the high 3-pointer, amazing. Look at this fade. The fade to the right using the normal 2 pull-up makes me feel like KD. The opposite one though, I don't really like too much, where you have to go towards the offhand. Does have the badges. The badges help out a ton, but we also know the hot spots help out a ton as well. So being able to shoot like this, amazing. Rhythm shooting a ton. KD's jump shot, really easy to time. And just like get the tempo down. So been rocking out with the rhythm shooting, especially on this build. The jump shot isn't too quick, so I'm not having too many issues. Depending on the build, I will button shoot, I will rhythm shoot. It just depends on the jump shot, how I'm feeling for the game. But for KD, probably just gonna rhythm shoot the entire time. Why not? For the people still listening to this video, or still watching this far in, do you have like an NBA player build that you've made and really liked this year? I would like to know in the comments. And also, like, if you want to join the Discord, as I mentioned earlier, it's in the description. You can join there, post your build, have some discussions. I would like to know. Diving into the builder a little bit is a little bit different. I'm trying to replicate some of the builds from last year and learning some of the cap breakers. And I have to rewire my brain. Like this KD build, look at that post fade. This KD build, I didn't just lower the shooting. I left the shooting pretty much maxed out and instead left a whole bunch of the other areas lower so that we could get huge jumps with the cap breakers. Last year, you would just lower the most expensive attributes because you only got one attribute when you decided to upgrade it using a cap breaker. So that is just super cool. Look at this hoop. Boom. Also a couple weeks into the game. Timing oops. Not as bad as I thought. But unfortunately, we are getting to the end of the video. Had a fun time yapping for a long time in this video. And I hope you enjoyed listening. So if you did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe down below, and I'll catch you in the next one.